Hi guys, and welcome to SEL Live Monday. I hope you guys had a restful weekend and that you guys are ready to go back at it. We're still not done with the school year. There's still a lot to be done. We have MAP testing coming up next week, and so we're still going at it. So we're still not off the hook yet. So with that said, we're going to be going over some topics dealing with impulse control. We're still dealing with self-management this week. Ms. Gutierrez will be here shortly, but let's go ahead and start off with a quote on impulse control, self-control. It says, "An action taken in anger is an action taken out of control." So this is where I would probably ask Ms. Gutierrez what she thought. But to me, an action taken in anger is an action taken out of control. To me, that means any action that you take just by letting your amygdala handle it is an action that you could end up regretting. And it's maybe an action that you're going to regret. It's maybe an action that's not going to have positive vibes, positive consequences, and it'll actually have the opposite. So for me, an action taken in anger, it's definitely taken out of the control that you have towards being able to handle a situation in a positive way. So we're mixing things up a little bit. This week. If we go forward, Mr. Salazar, we're going to go ahead and do our PBIS check-in first, but after that, we're going to mix it up a little bit. So we're going to give you about 3 minutes to get those PBIS check-ins going. PBIS should now be on, guys. If you guys saw it and it wasn't letting you, just refresh it. I had to turn it on, so it should be good now. Go ahead and check in. All right. Okay, guys, you guys are doing, if you just tuned into SEL, you guys should be checking in. I'm getting these. I'm looking at them. Make sure you go drop us a comment. We'd like to know. I noticed that some of you, hey, it's Monday. I'm still tired. I'm still, recovering from the weekend. And so I know, but we're here and we got to push through. So I'm reading all the comments. I see some of you, lots of you checking in at blue. We have a few checking in that we need to talk, and we'll get to it, okay? But guys, keep your Chromebooks out. Go ahead and continue to check in on PBIS, but we do have some stuff to get to today, and so I want to make sure that we have enough time for it all. So, Mr. Salazar, can we go to our next slide? So we're going to go ahead and move up the teacher spotlight in SEL. So keep those Chromebooks open, guys, because you're going to need to fill out a survey. So this week, guys, we're super excited to have Mrs. Portillo. So we're going to go ahead and learn a little bit more about Ms. Portillo.
Good morning. Hi, y'all. This is Ms. Portillo Castro. Actually, I was really shocked to find out that I was going to be the spotlight for this week, but actually very happy. Um, so, a little bit about myself. I graduated back in 1993, as you can tell. My beautiful hair gives me away, but that's okay. I've actually turned 50 and I'm reaching a milestone this year, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually going on my 15th year of education. This ending this year will be the my full 15 years. So for me, that's very exciting. I was the first one in my family to get my diploma. So sorry, I should say my college degree, not my high school diploma, my college degree. But maybe just a little bit of information about myself also before I let you go. Again, I graduated from Tornillo ISD back in 1993. What inspired me to teach was actually a counselor. She was very good to me. She guided me in one of my most difficult moments. And I want to share an interesting fact, but maybe I'll wait until you guys have some questions for me. So I look forward to answering those questions and have a great day or a great week.
All right, very cool. I'm really excited to see the questions that you guys have for Ms. Portillo. So, guys, at this time, I went ahead and moved the Teacher Spotlight survey to the top of your Google Classroom. So, in case you still haven't joined or you're new to the school, 8th grade, here's your Google Classroom code, 7th grade, and 6th grade. So, make sure that you guys are filling those up, submitting those survey responses. I'll let you know right now. We have 7 responses from Ms. Gallo's class. We have 1 from Ms. Lopez. We have 1 from Ms. Ramirez. 1 from Mr. Salazar's class, I'm guessing.
Yes.
So, yeah, so there you go. Keep them coming in, guys, and we'll see who we're able to interview next week. You know what? I'll share some of the live results. These are some of the votes that we're getting for next week, okay? Ms. Chavarria is getting votes for next week. Ms. Lopez is getting votes for next week. Ms. Palomares is getting votes for next week. Ms. Nicholson is getting votes for next week. Ms. Allen, nice, getting votes for next week. Let's see. Who else? That's it for now. So keep those responses coming in, and we'll see who continues to get votes. Miss Carmona getting some votes for next week. So keep them coming in, guys, and we want to hear from you. I'll give you about 3 more minutes to go ahead and submit that.
No, we need to put like the talent show, and I don't want to sign up there next to Miss Guys.
Anyone on Merch City, we need Daniela Guerrero. This is going home.
Okay. All right, guys, we're getting some awesome responses. Yes, I went ahead and updated the form. I know we had the wrong name on there. Everything's updated, ready to go. And so we're getting some awesome responses, and it's really close between 2 or 3 teachers here. So we'll see more on that next week. And then if you guys still really want to be in the do the actual interview, like interview the teacher, just go ahead and say yes or no at the bottom. So I think we're ready. All right, so we're ready to go on to our next part. Okay, guys, so now we're going to get into our actual topic of the week, and that's impulse control. And so I know that we've been having a lot of, there's issues going on, and there's little things here and there that are happening, and so we just want to go ahead and give you guys some of the tools to deal with some of those impulse control issues that we might be having. And it's just, even as adults, it's something that we still are challenged with. So we're going to go ahead and cover that topic today. We don't have a Rethink Ed video, so we're just going to go live with it. So let's go ahead and see. All right, guys. So what is impulse control? Impulse control means that it's your ability to stop and think before you act. So it's how we manage sudden feelings, urges, or reactions, especially when they cause problems. So we have this really cool visual here, and it's called the guard dog and the wise owl. So let me come to this side. So the guard dog represents your amygdala. That's all the sensitivity that your brain gets. So if I'm telling you something, or if let's say that we're in conflict or we're in an argument, your amygdala is the one that's receiving all of those signals, the one that's giving you all of those sensations, whether to get upset, how to react. Now the wise owl, that represents your prefrontal cortex, guys. So that's the part of your brain that's saying, hey, you know what? It's cool. Calm down. Control yourself. Don't overreact. That's the part that represents reason. So we have that visual there, and the reason for that is, Mr. Salazar, next slide, is that your prefrontal cortex, guys, is actually still growing. It's still underdeveloped, and it actually doesn't fully develop until your 20s. And so some of us that are even adults in our early 20s, it's still developing. So your wise owl is still developing. So your prefrontal cortex is developing the difficulties in the following area. It's still developing in dealing with difficulties in the following area. And so like impulse control, emotional regulation, organization, and rational decision making. So all of those topics are things that we're still trying to master, even at such an age of 20 years old. So you guys, I mean, it's cool. We understand you're still learning, you're still growing, but this is why we have issues sometimes. This is why you guys might react and unfortunately have to end up dealing with consequences based on impulse control. So there are ways to deal with it though. So we can check that. So here are positive versus negative ways to handle impulse. So positive ways are like taking a deep breath, waiting your turn to speak, thinking before you post online, or just straight up walking away from any drama, from any conflict, okay? Some of the negative ways that we've seen happen is yelling or fighting right away, interrupting others in class, posting something hurtful or private, or just jumping into an argument. So that's just that amygdala part. Hey, it's receiving something and boom, I react right away. You don't put it through the filter of the prefrontal cortex. So that's kind of like what we see. Even as adults, we deal with them. Even as teachers, we deal with them sometimes and we just snap. So I think we have some scenarios. So let's go ahead and go through them. Let me have Miguel. Can you come up here real quick? All right, Miguel. I have Mr. Miguel over here, so he's gonna come on camera. Miguel, I'm gonna give you a scenario, okay? And then we'll see how it goes, okay? Miguel, scenario 1, okay? Are you ready? Yeah? Okay. Miguel, unfortunately, you got put into SAC.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
What did I do?
It's just come closer so the camera can see. You didn't do anything. It's just a reenactment, okay? It's just a scenario, okay? So unfortunately, you get put in SAC, okay? And Ms. Valles in the morning saying, hey, you got to give me your phone. You don't want to give it to her. How is your impulse control gonna make a decision, a positive versus a negative decision? What are you gonna do?
Just give it to her.
Just give it to her, but you don't want to, and you're like adamant you don't want to give it to her.
No.
You're gonna get in trouble.
So what are some of the things that you're gonna be thinking of before you snap back right away?
What would happen, like, if I say it or not? Like, what would happen to, like...
Do you think you could possibly make things worse? Come in the camera. Come in the camera. Do you think you would make things worse?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. Thank you, Miguel. All right. How much time do we have left, sir?
8 minutes.
8 minutes. All right. So let's go on to scenario number 2. Ooh, this is a good one. So you're walking to class, and your girlfriend wants to show her affection. PDA. What are you going to do to control that impulse? What do you think, Mr. Salazar? What do you think the students should do to control that impulse?
Pues usually they look around to see if there's a teacher. But the best thing is to think about it and not do it because you're gonna get in trouble.
Exactly. I don't know if you guys heard that. He said just think about it before doing it. But actually, even just the fact that they're looking around to see if there's a teacher, that's impulse control. Because you're obviously, first of all, you're not going to do it in front of an adult. Second of all, you shouldn't even be doing that at school. But you need to go ahead and pause, put it through that prefrontal cortex filter. Even though it's not fully developed, it's still developing, but it still works, okay? All right, we have another one. Oh, you know what? I have my partner getting here. So I'm going to throw her straight into scenario 3. She's already crying. Ms. Gutierrez. You get to the cafeteria a bit late, just like you arrived to SEL a bit late. You get to the cafeteria for lunch, and you see your buddies, and they're up front with Ms. Lori or Ms. Para, and they're already ready to get into the line to actually go grab their food, and you really want to cut in line. What do you do to control that impulse?
Guys, I see this all the time, and then they're like, Miss, but it's just me, and it's just them, and I think I need to stop and think, would I want to be the person who has been patiently waiting, and la tripa is like already making noise? So I think maybe putting myself in other people's shoes and say, you know what, nah, I'm just going to go to the back of the line.
And most of the line, when you get there late, the line's already kind of gone through, so it's going to be super short.
True. So I
all
kind
right.
of stop and think.
All right.
It's not worth it.
But you know what? It's not just you guys that are faced with those situations. It's us as adults too. So teachers, maybe if you want to discuss this one out loud with your class. Here we go. Next one. Scenario 4.
It's a good one.
Teachers, you're in the middle of teaching a lesson when a student interrupts you with a rude comment or a question that seems off topic. Your first impulse is to snap back and correct them sharply in front of the class, feeling frustrated and embarrassed by the disruption. Teachers, go ahead and what would you do? How would you handle that impulse to not want to snap back?
You know what? I was in guidance lesson
That's a hard one because
with 7th grade,
it's hard.
and it's like, okay, but it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
It's really hard.
So we're going to go ahead and leave you with that thought, teachers and students. So we'll go ahead. Oh, really quickly. I'm sorry, Ms. Gallo. I'm sorry. One big announcement, and this is from Ms. Gallo. Please go ahead and sign up. She has a sign-up poster next to her classroom for the talent show. I don't remember the date that she wrote. Oh, May 16th.
May 16th
So it's
in
going to
the
be
PM.
after. It's going to be after Career Day. I mean, I heard there's going to be some special contest. I just can't say much more than that under the radar. But go ahead and sign up for the talent show. That's going to be awesome.
And remember, all these activities, end of the school, end of the year activities are for you to just have fun and enjoy and just kind of like.
They're a
So
privilege.
please,
They're a
yes.
privilege, not a right. They're a privilege for your hard work. Okay.
So do not lose your privilege to field day to the talent show to different events that we just want to end the year in a positive, in a good note. And so, yeah,
All
I'm
right.
excited.
That's all we got for you this week. All right, guys.
Be
Adios.
kind to one another. We'll see you later. Bye, Cubs.
All right, I think they can hear us.
Hello, hello.
Hey guys, welcome to.
Can you hear?
Hello, hello. So,
I can hear you.
Can you hear us now?
no?
Are you sure?
Mm.
Oh yeah, you can.
Can you hear us now?
Good job, good job.
Okay. we
Oh,
got it.
okay, so
All right.
we're back.
So welcome to SEL, guys. A little bumpy start, but we're getting there. Okay. So we're going to be talking about impulse control. Ms. Gutierrez, I kind of rearranged the lesson a little bit
It's
today,
okay.
but we're going to go with it because I think it worked really good last one. So I don't have a visual, but we do have a quote. It says, "An action taken in anger is an action taken out of control." What does that mean?
So when I think of anger, I think of a dysregulated brain. Remember, when your brain is regulated, you can make rational decisions. You're ready to learn. But whenever I'm angry, I know I am flipped. I am just not thinking straight. Some students have honestly told me, "Miss, it's because whenever I'm angry, I just see red. Like, I don't just process. I just either words, actions, behaviors." But yeah, not
Yeah,
rational.
I think and we'll get into the brain science a little bit more later, but really that amygdala part, which is the part that receives all the sensations from like an argument or a conflict, that's the part that you're allowing to react, and that's not the part we want to react. So an action taken in anger is like an action taken from the amygdala. So we don't want that amygdala talking. We want the prefrontal cortex talking. We'll get into that a little bit later. So I'm going to try to change the slide.
So we're doing a couple jobs today. So next on our list is our PBIS check-in. So please let us know how you're doing. Hopefully, I know my 8th graders are mostly tired because that's what I was looking at PBIS right now. But hopefully you are calm, you are regulated, you're ready to learn, you're ready.
We had over 110 check-ins last lunch, so I want to see if the 6th and these half 7th graders can beat that. So let's see.
Yes, so make sure you
Let's
give
see
us
who
a note.
can beat them in check-ins.
If you
A
need
lunch or
to talk
B
to
lunch?
us. I think.
All right, guys. I hope we were able to check in. I hope that we beat last lunch's amount of check-ins because we had really good participation this past one. But
And we will talk to you if you do need a check-in.
exactly. Okay. It's time for, this is where I rearranged it because you guys already have your Chromebooks open. So now it's time to hear from the teacher spotlight. The spotlight teacher of the week is going to be Mrs.
Mrs.
Portillo.
Portillo. see what she has to say.
Good morning. Hi, y'all. This is Ms. Portillo Castro. Actually, I was really shocked to find out that I was going to be the spotlight for this week, but actually very happy. So a little bit about myself. I graduated back in 1993, as you can tell. My beautiful hair gives me away, but that's okay. I've actually turned 50, and I'm reaching a milestone this year, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually going on my 15th year of education. Ending this year will be my full 15 years. So for me, that's very exciting. I was the first one in my family to get my diploma. So, sorry, I should say my college degree, not my high school diploma, my college degree. But maybe just a little bit of information about myself also before I let you go. Again, I graduated from Tornillo ISD back in 1993. What inspired me to teach was actually a counselor. She was very good to me. She guided me in one of my most difficult moments. And I want to share an interesting fact, but maybe I'll wait until you guys have some questions for me. So I look forward to answering those questions, and have a great day or a great week.
That was an awesome intro, so I really can't wait to see you guys' questions that you have for Ms. Portillo. So if we can go to our next slide.
So thank you, Ms. Portillo, for sharing.
That was awesome. Yes. So go ahead and fill out your survey. I moved it straight to the top of your 6th and 7th grade Google counseling page. And guys, I don't know 6th graders and the other half of 7th grade, because that other lunch really showed up last time, because I'm going to give you some of the teachers that are kind of in the lead for next week. We have Ms. Carmona,
Okay.
Ms. Chavarria, Ms. Lopez, Ms. Nicholson, Ms. Palomares, Mr. Romero, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. V, Mr. Villanueva, Miss Allen is getting some votes. We said Mr. Romero. Who is this one right here? I can't see this
Who
one.
would you guys like to?
Miss Trejo.
Miss Franco, true.
Oh, Miss Franco. You know
Choir.
what? Coach White. Coach White. Ms. Vargas is getting some votes. Ms. Reese is getting some votes.
That's awesome.
Ms. Reyes, our curriculum coach.
Ms. Reyes.
Ms. Ramirez getting votes. Coach P. Shout out to Coach P getting votes.
So we have.
A lot. Miss Franco Choir is getting votes. So guys,
Yay.
keep them coming in, because that's how we're able to find out like who you guys want to see.
I really want to see Miss Franco too, because we have her for our afternoon classes. So not a lot of people get to know her and see her, and she's just really awesome. Next year choir, we got more numbers, so we're excited.
So yeah. Okay, so we'll give you about 1 more minute to finish that survey, okay? Keep them coming in. Keep them coming in. Let's see. I'll let you guys know who's responding.
And so in the meantime, what would I want to know about Miss Portillo?
Shout out for Mr. DeMoss's class. They're signing in. Thank you guys. Yay. Coach Brandon, yes. Miss Carmona's class, yes. Thank you guys. Ms. Gonzalez's class, thank you guys. Ms. Reyes's class, thank you guys. Mr. Salazar's class, thank you guys. Mr. Rodriguez's class, there you guys are. Love it, seeing it. Thank you guys. Mr. Martinez, yes sir, thank you. Mr. Ugarte's class is signing in. Thank you guys. So we're able to see them. So thank you guys for participating in it and showing your engagement. We appreciate that. So, okay, you guys will have about maybe 30 more seconds to finish that up. In case you guys don't have your Google Classroom code to do the surveys, these are them. If you're 6th grade, it's NXAP5SO. I know we have some new students, and so just go to your Google Classroom and then add Classroom, and then you can enter that code in, okay? All right, are we ready to continue? All right. Okay, so we're talking about self-impulse control this week, And so as you can see, we're already going to be done with our self-management. And actually, guys, we're pretty much done. We just have 2
A
left.
couple.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing good, Ms. Gutierrez, you and I. We've been doing awesome. So shout out to us.
Yay! Almost end of the year.
All right, so this is we don't have a video this week, but we figured, you know what, we'll just give you some really cool information that we've found and that we've been constantly trained on, and that we're always talking about. As counselors, they're always talking to us about it. So we're trying to share this knowledge with you. So with impulse control comes our brain science. So what is impulse control, guys? The definition, or a good example, is it's impulse control. It just means your ability to stop and think before you act. It's how you manage sudden feelings, urges, or reactions, especially when they can cause problems. So we've talked about like brain science, and let me get out of the way. We've talked about brain science and like our hand model where we have our amygdala and our prefrontal cortex controlling it. However, I did find this one and I thought it was really cool because we get a visual. We have the barking dog and we have the wise owl. The barking dog represents your amygdala. And so what happens, Ms. Gutierrez, with a barking dog? Like, what do they do?
I just think of a siren, like, wee, 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 like,
Right? Like,
just the alert. Like,
there's conflict coming at you, and what does the dog start doing? It starts trying to protect itself. It starts barking. It's very impulsive. It's just out there, aggressive, right? But then we have the wise owl part of our brain, which once we're able to regulate, then the wise owl is like, hey, you know what? Stop, think, take a deep breath. Think about your actions. Think about the potential consequences of those actions.
but
So
that's
what do you think?
hard.
It is hard. Why is it hard?
Because I just want to, bah!
It's true. And you know why it's really hard, especially for our teenagers, our preteens here? Because that part's not fully developed. So can we go to our next slide? So wait, but my wise owl is still growing. So right now it's still kind of it's a growing owl. Yes, your prefrontal cortex is still developing, and there are difficulties in the following areas that they do provide a challenge for adolescents. And those things are dealing with impulse control, dealing with your emotional regulation, your organization, or even rational decision making, guys. So it's okay. You guys are young, they're still growing, but you need to know that that prefrontal cortex is a part that can, hey, calm you down and make you make a really good decision as opposed to just an impulsive or negative decision. So,
And so something about this is like we live and we learn. Like I'm still living and I'm still learning. But if you make the same and the same and the same and the same decisions that do not have positive consequences, it's like, oh.
I really think that for every like experience that our prefrontal cortex goes through, like it grows a little bit, you know? I don't know. That's how I see it. So what else do we got? What can we do about it? So there's positive ways to deal with it and there's negative ways. So some of the positive ways are just take a deep breath when you're upset. Wait your turn to speak. Think before posting online. That's a big one. Sometimes we see something and we just want to start clicking away and typing away with our cell phone. Or simply just walking away and getting away from it. Not having to deal with it. Realizing that it's not worth it. What about some of the negative ones, Ms. Gutierrez?
The ones we see sometimes either in the classrooms, in the hallways, outside as people are waiting for the buses, maybe yelling or fighting right away. Maybe if you're in class, interrupting others in class. Sometimes we do see the posting on social media that's hurtful or very private. And last but not least, jumping into an argument.
That one's big, jumping into an argument, because that's just your amygdala, that dog barking reaction just taking over. And so
and it's hard, and we can work on getting better at these. So if you're like, oh, I know someone, please do not give us names, please do not point, please do not say Ms. Gutierrez, remember that one time. No. We can just learn to acknowledge, to be aware, and to just be better.
So we have some scenarios, and we have some special guests to help us with these scenarios. So we're going to go ahead and go, well, who should we have for scenario 1? I think that one deals with, we're going to have our Adrianas come up for that. So we have 6th grade Adriana M and Adriana D. Come on up here, girls.
And you can, we'll read the scenario, and then maybe you can,
Okay. Next one, sir. All right, so girls, scenario 1. Unfortunately, you guys get thrown into SAC and Ms. Valles. She is picking up the phones in the beginning of the morning, and you don't want to give it to her. What would you do? What would you do to control your impulse? Talk about it.
Do you want to go first?
No, you go first.
Why me? Your name starts with a B. Okay, so.
Do you
Yes,
give
okay.
the phone? Do you just,
Because
Okay.
you don't want to give it.
Okay. Okay, I would normally give my phone because I don't really use it that much. But if it was a case where I had to, where like I didn't want to give because of an emergency at home, I would probably try to explain the situation, like this and this is happening, so I need my phone for this reason. And still, if they don't want me to have my phone, I'll just give it to them.
Okay. How about you, Mariana? I just give it up. I
Yeah.
don't fight. I don't fight back. I just, accept the truth and
Like,
move
it's
on.
not that you don't fight back, it's just you realize that it's not worth the trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
I get you.
Good answers, guys.
Nice.
So thank you,
Good
thank
job.
you. Woo.
All right.
You and I- okay.
Scenario number 2.
We're
Oh,
gonna
we'll do that one, me and you, Miss.
Oh, yes.
So, you're walking to class, and your girlfriend wants to show her affection. PDA. Besitos and stuff like that. So, I mean, not at school, right? So what would you do to control that impulse?
Don't look at each other. Don't mention names. Don't say Miss Gutierrez.
No throwing anybody under the
No,
bus on
no.
this one, guys.
So
Any
you know
couples?
what? I would stop and think of consequences, and I just talk to someone. They're like, "It's okay. My parents let us hug all the time," but consequences at school. So I think I would say, you know what? No, I don't want to get in trouble. Sorry.
Just be like, not here.
Having
Here.
lunch detention
Yeah.
is not worth it. And then if it's severe, having like
Sack,
sack,
yeah.
not worth it. What would you do?
You know what? I think I would. It'd be
Mrs.
hard,
Barnes.
right? It'd be hard, right? It is difficult, and I get it because we want affection. Affection's nice to have, but there's rules here, and we gotta abide by them. So definitely not here. And I'm not a rule breaker. So for me, it's like I'm like with Adriana. It's just not worth the trouble. It's not worth the consequence. And so for me, no.
So don't do it.
All right.
Next scenario.
Scenario number 3. We've got Ms. Maylene and Minerva. Come on up here, girls.
Okay, and I see this happening all the time. But let's see.
You want to read it?
Yeah. So, girls, one of you gets to the cafeteria late, and the other is in line already, and at the front, right there with Miss Potter, our monitor, and she's letting you guys go through, and you want to just cut straight to the front. What would you do to handle that impulse?
You want to go first? Yeah. I think I would try to handle it because it wouldn't be as fair for people who were already there, and also I would go back to consequences as of getting in trouble with the monitors there, and also like just getting in trouble mainly with other students as well and building conflict. So I would. What about you?
I would just like wait in line, go to the back of the line, because I feel like that it's really, really unfair to the other people who were there like way before us. And like, if we wanted to get to the front of the line, we could have just like walked faster.
Nice. Really awesome,
girls.
responses,
Good
guys.
job. Thank you, Minerva and Maylene.
Just love this.
Oh, this
Thank
is
you.
good. All right. So we do have one scenario, but you know what? It's for the adults. But we're going to have some very mature students answer this one.
So teachers, we hear you, we see you. Okay, so teachers, you're in the middle of teaching a lesson when a student interrupts you with a rude comment or a question that seems off topic. Your first impulse is to snap back and correct them sharply in front of the class, feeling frustrated and embarrassed by the disruption. So our Cubs.
So we have Zoe and Cielo. Talk to each other. Pretend you put yourself in the teacher's shoes. How would you handle the impulse of wanting to be like, no?
What would you do?
I feel like if I had to snap back at somebody because they had told me like something mean, I would have told them, I wouldn't really snap. I would actually like tell them that like I don't know how I would do that. I feel like I would talk to them about it and see how I can fix it.
Okay. Cielo, how about you?
If you were a teacher,
I would just like to please be quiet, but if like they were talking about an assignment to someone that was like important that they needed to do, I would like let them talk for a little bit and then afterwards like get back to the assignment.
Okay. So I think being polite, which are,
Those are good strategies,
good.
and you come up with a different perspective because it could be related to the work, and if that's something, then that's something that you kind of want. But we get it when sometimes teachers, when it's just a rude or an off-topic comment. Yeah, so that's really good discussion for you guys to continue having throughout today's lesson.
So thank you, Cubs.
All
You
right,
guys are amazing.
thank you, Zoe and Cielo, and thank you to our guests today. And that's all we've got for you. So.
Oh,
wait,
Miss Gallo.
yes, Miss Gallo. Oh my goodness, she's gonna get so mad at me. 'Cause
1 minute, go.
1 minute. Okay, Miss Gallo, guys. Miss Gallo is helping organize the
Talent show.
The talent show. Yes, and so she has a big sign-up sheet.
Yes.
Please, outside of her door, please sign up if you want some. I already saw someone. I think I saw Derek Pineda. He wants to sing. Cool. And I heard there's going to be a competition kind of going on. Maybe teachers might be involved, but I can't give away too much.
So guys, all these end of the year activities are for you to enjoy. So please do not lose this privilege.
Because they are privileges, guys. They're not a right. It's a
So
privilege.
We want to end the year in a positive, in a good note with all these activities, the teacher versus students game, the field day, the talent show. So that is scheduled for
Lots
May
of cool
16th.
stuff coming up.
Yes.
All right.
We'll see you
Bye,
later.
guys.
Bye, Cubs. Thank you, guys.